my name is Lauren, this is Sam, and today I'm making a manicure based off this little pin that my friend brought me from Iran, and that's all there is to it. Let's get started. Wow, hello. This is incredible. I actually have the house to myself and it's quiet in here. It's amazing. We've had so much construction going on and my husband is out doing training for his search and rescue, being an angel, and I'm here doing my nails. But yeah, I just was gonna take this opportunity to make a little manicure. I was inspired by this pin, this little brooch pin that a friend of mine brought me from Iran. And I thought we would just kind of riff on this. So I thought this plate, Maniology M511, this looks pretty similar. So I think I'm gonna use this. And then we've got some birds. And then I picked out the colors to match. So basically we have blue. I'm gonna count this as one color. And then I'm gonna count this as the other color. I decided to use some like Essies today instead of just the stamping polish. I think I'm gonna use this for the outline. It's sort of a brown CJS polish. I've got my green and a yellow. And then I'm gonna do this sort of pale pinky background, like maybe sort of a, you know, not quite white, but we gotta add some glitter because we use nail polish and not regular paint. So this is Limo-Scene. It's pretty thin, so probably gonna have to do a couple layers of this. But yeah, this pin is really cute. Like I said, it's from my friend. His name is Arun from Iran. I think that's sort of fun. I think his sister's name is Arin. And I think that's funny. It's kind of like if my name was Amaruka, you know, from America. But yeah, I met him couch surfing. He stayed at my house when I lived in Austin, Texas. And he's a philosophy teacher, so he was moving, I think, from Germany. But he ended up moving to Austin because he thought I was really cool, and I guess I just sold him on the place. So that's why he lives there now. Isn't that funny? So yeah, we still keep in touch, and he sent me like a little care package recently, and I just was looking at this hanging in my bathroom this morning. I thought, you know, that'd be a really nice manicure. The colors really work. I started my account on the couchsurfing website in 2007, and I still host people. I don't use couchsurfing anymore, and that's a long story that I don't need to get into, but I use a platform called Be Welcome now, and it's pretty good. I live in kind of a not popular area anymore, like New Orleans and Austin. Of course, I always had a lot of guests, but here I'm a little more, it's just kind of a little more off the beaten path, so I don't get guests as often, but when I do, it's really exciting. And as you know, we've been doing construction upstairs, and so I'll finally be able to have a safe place for my guests to stay if and when anyone decides to stay here again. But yeah, I've surfed also in like 6 different countries, and it's pretty great way to meet people and get a really unique view of the city or the town or whatever. And but I really love hosting. It's absolutely my favorite. While I'm waiting for this to dry, I might as well start reverse stamping some of these birds. I don't know. If you saw my last video, then you'll recognize this is my little 4-0 brush here. And I'm going to use that as a palette. And here we go. So yeah, I love hosting people on, I just call it couch surfing. It's just what it is. And yeah, I honestly think I like strangers more than friends sometimes. Like 2 days is kind of the sweet spot. But yeah, I can't really tell you why I love it so much. It's just sort of a calling. Oh, that's a terrible pickup. You know, it's like, who am I to question the passions I have in this life? Like, where would we be as a species if we didn't have people who are passionate about strange things, water beetles, wind patterns, the sound your finger makes on a cup? I mean, don't ever let anyone pathologize your passions. That's just part of being a human being. I've got a nice little bird there. That's very cute. And yeah, it's the morning. Like, my husband left pretty early this morning, and I'm not an early riser at all. But yeah, I had some coffee, and I just decided to come up here right away. It's like, I just haven't been able to do this because there's just always a lot of people here, tradespeople, and oh my gosh, it's just been so relentless. Yeah, it's just been kind of like harshing my vibe. He sort of has like a green head. And I'm gonna add a little stripe. And then of course Sam is running around downstairs, tending to his own passions. He's very dedicated. I think I'm gonna blend some of these just a little bit. I'll write all the products in the description. I'm not gonna go through them. Those are like really the same. I don't know if that's gonna matter if I blend them or not. Let's see how it looks on the brown. You know, I think dedication is not a choice, it's a result. It's a result of passion. If you're passionate about something, you just can't help it. I'll have to show you the construction. So yeah, it's like I said, it's done, or did I say? Well, anyway, it's done in the inside. So we had a house cleaner here yesterday, and she actually was supposed to be here today, but I was like, nah, give me a break. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'll show you like a before and after of that room. Like, if you remember, it used to look like this, where there was a giant tree through a tree-made skylights. It was like that for a long time, and now it just looks beautiful. Like, look at this. I'm just so happy with it. And we'd actually been using it as sort of a storage room, but it's way too beautiful to go to waste now. So I'm trying to turn it into the new guest room. It'll be like bigger and better, and the view is better and everything. But my husband's kind of thinking maybe he wants to move his office up there. But anyway, we still need to decide. But it cannot be a storage room. No. Oh yeah, I'm loving this shimmer. This is Icy Waters. That's so pretty over this like pink. Yeah, very interesting colors here. So yeah, I got my bird there. Okay, so let me try to think what I want to do. I was kind of thinking about doing like a little kind of like a light background color of some flowers, and then I found this plate. So I think I'm just gonna color, yeah, like what I want to do. I don't want to have the flowers touching the bird, so I'm gonna have to be creative with that. But let's just pick it up and see. I actually have, I just learned this, or I just realized this, but I have, I think it's called aphantasia. Like, I can't see things. I can't see images in my mind at all. There's nothing. Like, you know, like when you go to a therapist or something and they say like, oh, you know, close your eyes and imagine like you're on a beach or something like that. I never understood that. Like, that was never helpful to me. It would be actually kind of frustrating. But I didn't realize that other people actually are seeing the beach, or they can. So I don't think this is like rare or anything like that. But yeah, like I said, I just didn't know that most people can see things. Can you see things when you close your eyes or when you imagine them? It's just sort of like, it's not blackness, but it's sort of like a gray fog or something. I see nothing. So I don't know if that helps me or hurts me when it comes to this stuff. So when I say I'm visualizing it, I'm actually not conjuring up an image at all. I don't know how it works. Yeah, I don't know how it works. I just know, like, I can still draw things from, I guess you would say, memory. I don't have a problem with that at all. And I can describe things, you know, but I just know, like, I don't see it. I don't know. The brain is so weird. Okay, I'm thinking that the blue is so dark. I don't know. I think it needs to be this lighter color. Oh, and I'm totally forgetting that there are red flowers on this too. I have this habit of like stacking them so close to what I'm doing, and then that's how I always knock stuff over. But my goal is to not knock something over today. I almost just did. I don't know, it's kind of funny when it happens. Actually, I kind of love and hate when that happens. It's annoying because it's like, oh no, I'm like, it presses my time, but it's always a little satisfying to like put the cap on and like click it out of place. I don't know. It's one of the reasons why I like Playmobil and stuff. I just love that like click. They actually call them clickies in the little fan community. It's just like so satisfying. Hang on, I can hear Sam getting into something. It doesn't sound good. Alright, it was just some plastic bags the contractors left behind. No biggie. I had to get one of those like child locks to put on the, like we have one of those trash cans that's like a drawer that you pull out, you know, it looks like a cabinet, like one of the kitchen cabinets. And he figured out how to open it. And like, for example, avocado is real deadly to parrots. Like if he eats some avocado, he will croak. And, you know, sometimes we have that in the house. So, like, if he gets into the trash and he gets that, like, it's just a very dangerous situation. So, and plus it's annoying. Like, the other day I walked out there and there was trash strewn all over the kitchen floor. It's like, really, dude? Oh, this is so pretty. It's already so pretty. I'm kind of surprised, not gonna lie. Do some of these greens. Oh yeah, but I was talking about couch surfing earlier. Yeah, I've hosted like literally hundreds of people, at least 200, at least. 200 visits. Sometimes there's multiple people in a party, but yeah, I've hosted from all over the world, all ages. Sometimes one time I had two 70 somethings. One time I had a was he like 19? I didn't realize until later. That was, yeah. I mean, like nothing bad happened, but it's good if you're an adult. Yeah, but yeah, just from all over. We had some Colombians here recently-ish. Well, I guess it was last year. And we took them tubing on the river. That was awesome. They were so great. I even hosted when I lived in Iceland. I lived in Iceland well, I was there 2 times. The first time I was there for 3 months, and then the second time I was there for 5 months. And the second time I was there, I was working at a hostel. And actually, that's kind of a long story, but anyway, I was put up in like a rental house in the town. There's only 300 people in that village, and the owner of the hostel, rather than well, I was the only one there, but rather than having me stay in the hostel for the busy season, she rented like a little apartment house up the hill, and I stayed there. And there were a couple of rooms because we did eventually get some other employees. But there was this like crib, like a baby crib in one of the rooms. Like the owner had just like she just couldn't resist it when she saw it for sale somewhere. And one time I hosted somebody and they slept in that crib. And another time I hosted some people when I lived in a tent in Yosemite. So yeah, it's really funny. I just love it. It's never the same thing twice. People always want to know, like, oh, do you ever have a bad experience? And honestly, I don't know why people always ask that. They always want to know, like, what's the worst thing that's ever happened. But honestly, not really. Like, most people are really good and, like, don't want to get in trouble. And it just, that's the couch surfing thing just takes a lot of trust on both ends. And so, you know, you have to be a trustworthy person, but you also have to be very trusting. But no, I've never really had any bad experiences. There's been people that like, it's like, not gonna lie, it's usually dudes that do this, but I've had some guys like sort of have an attitude about like cleaning up or whatever. Like I remember, actually I didn't remember this, but I read it in a diary recently that I wrote. But there was a guy from England, and I had this apartment in Asheville, and like he had taken a shower, and he's one of those people that like gets the shower like floor like really wet, like the whole bathroom floor is wet. And so I went into the bathroom after he was done, and like all these wet towel, like he had thrown his towel on the floor, and like there was just water everywhere. And I was like, hey man, like, can you clean this up? And he just like had a real attitude about it, like that was my job or something. And honestly, it didn't bother me, you know, like, and none of that stuff ever really did. When people are sort of disrespectful, I don't know, it just kind of rolls off of me because, like, I guess, for example, this one time years and years ago, I was at a Goodwill and I was like second in line to check out. And the person in front of me noticed another customer leaving out the front door. And you could see out the back of their shirt that they were wearing like multiple shirts, and you could see like the little Goodwill tags. So they had like all these little Goodwill tags sticking out the back of their shirt. And the person said to the cashier, hey, that person's stealing. And the cashier just looked up and said, it's not my karma. And then she kept scanning. And like, I don't know, that always really stuck with me because it's not up to me to judge it, you know, like I'm not the one that's gonna have to deal with that. You know, you reap what you sow kind of thing. Like it takes care of itself. You know, I'm sure that, well, I'm not sure, but I think a lot of people look back on the things they did when they were younger and they just sort of cringe, you know, and feel like guilt or remorse of that. And honestly, I'm sure I appear in people's memories quite a lot. I will be in so many people's life review when they die. But yeah, like I said, it's not my karma. And it's not like I never did anything bad either. I can be really selfish. That's kind of my biggest problem, my biggest character flaw. Okay, I'm like so happy with this. So let's add some sticky base. I'm thinking I'll put it, I think I'll do, yeah. I think I'll do it on this nail first. Oh, that is so cute. Oh my goodness. Here, look. Super cool. Like, I don't even want to cover that up with the bird. So what I'm thinking is maybe I'll stamp the bird and then I'm going to try to put the little pieces of flowers around it. It's going to be tricky, but I believe in myself. Oh my goodness. I didn't wait for my sticky base to dry. Come on, be cool. It's not gonna be cool. Okay, I just need to like wait for it to dry on here. I'm just gonna keep it pressed down for a minute. No, I totally screwed it. Okay, that sucks. Wow, what a like stupid mistake. Was that karma related? Maybe. All right, well, I'll move on. We'll redo that later, maybe. I don't know. Let's see, what do we got here? I'm thinking like, well, maybe I ought to do the outline of the bird in blue. This one looks pretty good. Should I do that? Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm gonna use this color. Yeah, okay, I think that'll be good. Yeah, I'm going a little off script here with the birds, but yeah, that's okay. I'm not trying to like duplicate it. I like that better than the last bird anyway. It looks good. But what about the branch? Maybe green, I don't know. I don't want all that branch on there, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm gonna need one more bird. So this bird is facing this way, so I want another bird that's like facing this way. This one looks so much like the birds in here, but it's so blue. I guess I'll try it. The weather's like finally chilling out, or I guess the opposite, it's warming up. So we've been taking Sam over to the new park. It's new because it was destroyed during the hurricane, but they got a lot of money, I think, from the local baseball team to redo it because there's a lot of like baseball fields out there, softball, whatever. It's always like kids playing on team sports out there. But they added a batting cage that no one ever uses. So we've been using it as a birding cage. So we take Sam so he can get some exercise flying back and forth. It's really fun. I'll show you a video.
Sammy, come on. Come on. Toss him. Oh, good boy. All right, goodbye.
the branch should be like this brown color. Kind of forgot I had it. While I'm waiting on that, I had this idea, and maybe you can tell me if this is stupid or not, but one thing that kind of bothers me about nail stamping is that you have all of this huge, like, I think this is called wallpaper, this shape, and when you stamp it on the nail, you lose like literally half of it. And like on a plate like this, where you have like this huge landscape here, or this, like, you just lose all of it, and it's kind of a shame. So I cut out these little canvases, and they are the size of the Maniology. Well, they're just a little bit smaller. These are 17 by 35 millimeters, and so I just cut them like a half a millimeter shorter than that, and so they just sort of perfectly fit over here. And then I spray painted some of them like as a backing, and you can just paint on that, or you can, you know, seal it with this, or you can layer them up. So I'll show you what I was doing. I was really inspired by the movie Watership Down, the version from the 70s, 78 or 79 came out. I was like obsessed with that movie and the book as a kid, and I rewatched it recently, and just couldn't help but notice all of the fabulous layers and stuff they do. It's just, oh, it's heartbreakingly beautiful. You have to watch that movie. It's free on YouTube right now. And yeah, they layered the, I guess they're called cells, like the clear things that they animate on. So I was just painting on these, but my husband had the idea to actually layer up the little cells, I guess you would call them, so each cell has a different image on it. So I did these. This was like my second attempt. His little butt fell off. And then I did the chickens, and then this underwater thing here. So like the layering is pretty subtle, but you still get a sense of like depth and shadow. You kind of see how the light is hitting it different. So these are really fun to do. Honestly, it's pretty fiddly because I paint on the back, and then I put a layer of resin, and then stick this, paint, resin, stick. So there's a lot of room for error, but like if you like working with miniatures and stuff, like tedious miniatures, which obviously I do, and maybe you too, it's pretty satisfying and it's pretty fun. But I don't know what you would do with them. I really don't know what you would do with them. At least the nails, like, even though I'm never going to wear them, I guess you could argue that they're functional. This, I don't know, like maybe for dollhouse stuff, like paintings in a dollhouse. So, or maybe just for fun. I really don't know. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in, or if this is a bad idea. I kind of thought it was brilliant, but I mentioned it in the MXM chat, and it was kind of crickets in there. So my idea is that it would be fun to introduce the stamping hobby to people that aren't interested in nails. You know, like, I'm sure men would enjoy this kind of thing, but having it be nails is a little limiting. You know, most men don't really care about nails, and a lot of women don't either. So I don't know, that was my idea. Let me know if you're like really curious about it. I can send you some of these for free and you could play with it. So drop me a comment, or you can email me at zenstamping@gmail.com, and we can kind of figure something out, and I can just mail you some of these in an envelope and you can play around with it. Let me know what you think. I would really love some feedback on it. If you think it's dumb, don't be afraid to tell me. I just really want to know what you think. So did I put sticky base on here? Watch me wait too long for the sticky base. Yay, success. We'll do a couple more. When I have extra on my stamper here, I don't really like to let it go to waste, so I'll just stick that up there. Okay, so I went ahead and put so sticky base, which I'm messing up again. No way. All right, that was a close one. And then while you weren't looking, I did another one of these patterns. I'm kind of regretting not taking out those sort of brown leaves in the middle. It doesn't look great to me, but whatever. Okay, that looks pretty great. Let's see. We gotta do the top coat. Oops, mix these around. There we go. So that is it. That is our completed manicure. Let's see how it compares. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. What do you think? That's all I have for you today, my friends. I'm really happy you joined me in my very rare videos. Now I'm gonna make an effort to get a lot more done with these, just because now I can. Next to building a deck though, so we'll see how disruptive that is, but I will try because I miss you guys and I miss making these videos. But until next time, bye! Are you crazy coconut? Are you crazy coconut? Hmm?